11 blunders to stay away from when preparing hot sauce. Fantastic condiments include hot sauce. It can enhance the flavor and spice of any dish. It should come as no surprise that hot sauce may be found in a variety of forms around the world. There are numerous tasty store-bought hot sauce brands available, and many of these products are pretty tasty. But there is something incredibly gratifying about making your own hot sauce. Also, making hot sauce is not extremely challenging. You may create the hot sauce of your dreams, generate the desired heat levels, add any flavors, and have it suit your style after you are aware of the correct approach and procedures. For homemade gifts, you can also make and bottle hot sauce. Although the procedure is not extremely difficult, there are some common mistakes you should steer clear of when preparing hot sauce. You may safely create the ideal spicy sauce by avoiding these major blunders. 1. Not understanding the various types. Many individuals are unaware of the wide variety of hot sauces available. Sure, some individuals are aware that there are several tastes of spicy sauces, such as those made with various spices or peppers. But there is a huge market for hot sauce. In order to know what you are making, it is crucial to grasp the different types of spicy sauce before preparing your first batch. Some spicy sauces are fermented while others are not, which is one of the main stylistic variances. Vinegar and crushed peppers are combined to make unfermented spicy sauce, in order to activate the enzymes that will aid in the sauce's breakdown. Fermented hot sauce uses crushed peppers in a salt brine. Although they are regarded to be less fiery than their unfermented counterparts, fermented hot sauces are thought to have a more nuanced flavor. Even though they take longer, a lot of well-known spicy sauces are fermented, so the extra work might be worthwhile. Also, it's important to remember that certain hot sauces are cooked while others are not. According to Condemaniac, unfermented hot sauce is cooked, whereas fermented hot sauce is frequently left uncooked. The hot sauce can be made sweeter and with different flavor combinations by cooking the components. You have the last say, but it's crucial to understand the advantages and disadvantages of each type. 2. Ignorance of the various types of hot sauce. It is crucial to recognize that there are many styles if you are aware that there are various kinds of spicy sauces. The flavor, color, and texture will be determined by these styles. For instance, Louisiana-style hot sauce is frequently diluted and acidic. Louisiana-inspired sauces include Frank's Red Hot Sauce. Contrarily, Sriracha has a thick, silky consistency. A well-known example is Hui Fong Sriracha. By location and area, hot sauces differ. Some employ particular herbs and spices that may be present in the cuisine of that culture, whereas others use peppers of several varieties. Making your own hot sauce will be much simpler once you are clear on what you are attempting to accomplish. You will be able to find recipes for the specific foods you wish to prepare and be confident that you will enjoy the finished product. If you're going to make spicy sauce, steer clear of making a type that doesn't go well with your tastes or your culinary needs. 3. Not comprehending how hot sauce works scientifically. It's a well-known proverb that cooking is a science. This is accurate, and knowing the science behind your creations will help you be successful. Understanding the process is just as important as comprehending the chemical details. Though not necessarily in that order. For instance, it is essential to comprehend that bacteria break down the ingredients in fermented hot sauce to give it a unique flavor and texture. This will make it easier for you to understand why it's crucial to be cautious about what touches your jars and why you need to wait before consuming fermented hot sauce. It's also crucial to comprehend what capsaicin is and how it functions. The majority of capsaicin is contained in the seeds of peppers via science of cooking. Hence, removing the seeds will have an impact on the hot sauce's intensity as well as its texture. Finding the right balance and properly preparing your peppers before making hot sauce is crucial because this can either be a positive or a negative effect depending on the conclusion you want. 4. Failure to sterilize your jars. It is crucial to use clean jars when making hot sauce, regardless of the style. This is especially crucial when making fermented hot sauce because your mash will be sitting sealed in a jar specifically made to grow bacteria, which may not be advantageous. According to a piece on 1 million women, fermenting hot sauce in improperly sterilized jars can have severe effects, not the least of which is moldy, useless hot sauce. The pressure inside the jars might increase until it finally breaks, turning them literally into explosives. Keep in mind that the fermentation process is what gives items like beer its bubbles. What occurs if you shake a carbonated beverage too vigorously? Indeed, it does explode everywhere. So that there are no surprises, you want to reduce the amount of external microorganisms as much as possible. Make sure to sanitize all the tools your hot sauce comes into contact with to ensure that it turns out well and lasts as long as possible. This goes especially for the bottles you plan to store your hot sauce in. 5. Doing without gloves. Security first. We suggest you wear gloves, especially while cutting, unless you want to experience the burn. Hey, hot sauce literally has the word hot in its name. Even if you're using mild peppers, they still have a lot of heat. It is due to a substance called capsaicin that is present in hot peppers. The compound capsaicin, which gives peppers their heat, has the capacity to inflict pain. Although most people associate peppers with a fiery flavor, capsaicin's effects extend beyond the mouth. It's possible that touching peppers will cause your hands to burn if you don't use gloves. In light of it, you should refrain from touching your face with hands that have recently come into contact with peppers or hot sauce or any other delicate places. This calls for donning gloves and carefully cleansing hands prior to performing an action, such as taking out contacts. The good news is that while capsaicin may sting, it does not harm the body physically. But there is no justification for causing your body any more suffering than is absolutely required. Therefore, wash your hands, wear gloves, and refrain from touching your face. 6. Making incredibly hot sauce inside. Did you know that capsaicin may vaporize and cause pain in the air? When chopping onions, a lot of people have noticed that their eyes start to get watery. Peppers can experience a similar outcome when being cooked. Peppers break down and release more capsaicin when they are cooked. This might be perfect in terms of flavor, but it might be problematic in a kitchen with poor ventilation. Their amateur mistake of frying peppers in their kitchen caused them to get gassed out, as one Reddit commentator pointed out. Breathing in the air actually became unpleasant. The spicier your peppers are, the more uncomfortable this might get. A good place to start when making cooked spicy sauce is by turning on the kitchen vent fan and opening any windows. But for large batches or particularly hot peppers, even this might not be sufficient. The Reddit commenter suggests using an outside camp stove for cooking. For a grilled, smoky flavor, consider roasting peppers on a grill as well. 7. Using expired spices. Whether you're thinking of generating a mild pepper taste or a more complicated one, we'll presume that if you're making hot sauce, you're doing it to give things flavor. Hence, it is likely that whatever mixture you create will contain some dry spices. Verify that any spices you use are still within their recommended shelf life before using them. Otherwise, the flavor will leave you unimpressed. Most dried spices do not expire as quickly as we may imagine. Spices that are past their prime just start to lose their flavor instead of getting rotten or making us sick, via Healthline. Despite the use of spices, this may make meals taste bland. While whole spices can survive up to 4 years. Pre-ground spices have a shelf life of roughly 2 to 3 years. Salt is the one exception because it never goes bad fast. Search for a best by date on your spices. Pour a small amount into your hand and take a smell to see if you are still unsure. If it smells bland, it's probably time to swap out that spice. As a general rule, if you cannot recall when you purchased spices, it's time to swap them out. 8. Overheating your sauce. Although if the word hot is in the name, it is a waste of time and effort to make a hot sauce so hot that it is neither palatable nor delightful. Selecting the right pepper for the mixture is one of the first choices you make while producing spicy sauce. Even if you might adore the flavor of one pepper, you can find it to be too spicy while you're focused. To better understand which peppers might be too spicy for you, we advise using the Scoville scale, which measures the heat in peppers. Do not completely rely on recipes offered by others because heat preference is arbitrary, and what one person may find to be too hot, another person may find to be delicious. There are a few techniques you can try to reduce the heat if you do discover that your spicy sauce is too hot. While fat helps bind capsaicin, pepper scale suggests including some form of fat, such butter or olive oil. To thin it out, you may also try adding more items that don't contain pepper. Give your hot sauce to someone you never want to see again if everything else fails and it's just too spicy. 9. Lack of imagination. 10. Failing to wait long enough. The following error mainly applies to fermented hot sauce. If you want your hot sauce to turn out as you expect, time is the most crucial factor. You will only have some peppers that have been ground up without time. The peppers must sit, often mashed in some form with salt, until they turn sour and fermented for fermented hot sauces. When it's warmer outside, fermentation could occur more quickly than when it's chilly outside. This is another reason why it's crucial to comprehend the science behind hot sauce. It normally takes 1 to 2 weeks for the distinctive tang to appear. If you try to stop it in advance, all you'll get are peppers that are just a little bit salty. Moving on to the next step before your peppers are properly prepared would be doing yourself a favor, because fermentation is a key component of what preserves spicy sauce and helps keep it shelf stable. We are aware of the challenge. When the hot sauce is on the line, patience is difficult. Nonetheless, give it a shot and you'll be rewarded with sweetness. 11. Improperly storing your hot sauce. You may have spent weeks preparing the hot sauce. Your incredible work is now prepared for usage because you have finished every phase. The last step is to store it. Due to the nature of the components, hot sauce has the advantage of having a long shelf life. Hot peppers and vinegar are both natural preservatives, or why can it go bad? Although homemade hot sauce can last for a very long period, store-bought hot sauce often has a longer shelf life. According to some Redditors, hot sauce can survive up to a year, while can it go bad places the shelf life of some fresh, uncooked hot sauces as low as 2 weeks. In a clean container in the fridge for the longest possible shelf life. Like many other fermented foods, hot sauce has a low pH and can be preserved. Homemade hot sauce can be preserved for a year without refrigeration by using sterilized equipment and the conventional hot water bath canning method. The ideal storage strategy will depend on how quickly you anticipate using your hot sauce. There is always a potential that you won't even need to store your spicy sauce for very long because you'll use it up so rapidly. Thanks for watching and see you on the next video.